trial 6 to 7 weeks for Dougal. Not the best news to have this week. How do you think he's coping with that, sort of with the disruptive pre-season he's had already, and now another big injury to face as well?
Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? He certainly wouldn't be pleased, and I'm sure there's a level of stress that goes with it. But it's part of being a professional athlete. It's an abnormal existence. You've got to take the hits, and he's in the gym. He started his rehab. He's actually got no alternative, right? But we'll support him as best we can, and he's just got to dig in a bit. So, but he'll have his up and down moments, I'm sure.
Liam Stocker as well will miss. How bad is that foot injury for Liam?
Yeah, well, it's just a hot spot. Yeah, I think sometimes they can be 6 to 8, but this one's more around the 3-week mark, we think. So we got it early, a little bit painful. So yeah, a little bit unusual to get one of them second met in season when the loads are decreased, but it is what it is, He'd been in good form.
Tragic news about Wolsey yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, he was the first coach you worked under at Richmond. What was your sort of fondest memory and biggest lesson he taught you in your time there?
Yeah, look, I'm not. That's really sad. He's a very special person. He was my first senior coach, so my first engagement when I was 16. He's the reason I'm coaching. I owe him a great deal, and it's really sad.
West Coast this week, what did you make of their most recent performance against the Tigers last week?
Yeah, they're really fighting. I think, they sort of fought to the line. It was just a big tackle, probably cost them the game. So I thought they, and particularly at home, obviously I know the environment, know the ground, know how big a club they are, proud club. Essendon, they probably should have got the chocolates. Melbourne, a lot of the metrics were very strong, and their form's been really good against Richmond. So we're certainly under no illusion, and we're not a team that just rolls out and wins, right? We've got to bring great effort, apply our system, but we feel we've tightened our defence against Fremantle and Carlton because we were leaking. We got Mateus back, and Mason Wood should play, as you highlighted. We've got a couple of injuries, so we're not without challenge, but we're still young. We're third youngest last week as an experienced Carlton team, sixth oldest, so we wanted to get across the line there. We're frustrated we didn't. We sat heavily with the coaches and players, but we've learned our lessons, improved our ball movement, improved our stoppage work. We're going over there to improve and display our culture and character.
Where in particular you talked about metrics at West Coast, where in particular are they strong?
Well, that's for me to sort of know. Do you know what I mean? I'm not here to espouse what I think they're good and bad at, but we know they've got some good metrics, and we'll have to handle it.
The Harley Reid factor is pretty big. When I watched the Richmond game, he seemed to provide a lot of impact. Is that somebody you're looking to reduce, I guess, his X factor?
Yeah, we haven't locked anyone down the last few weeks. He's a young, talented player, but Kelly's top flight. Their captain comes back. There's been a lot of noise around him. I'm sure he wants to put his best foot forward. Liam Ryan's really almost in career best form. They've got a bit going on. Does McGovern play? Their rucks, Bailey Williams, really played well against Rowan last time. They got Flynn. So yeah, we've got a little bit there. And Hewitt, who we rated highly in the draft, is having real impact. Like I saw on Champion Data, I think it's top 30 AFL mid. So they've got a bit going for them.
How much of it all the teams that haven't won for a period of time become a little bit more dangerous knowing that they are playing somewhat decent football?
Look, we swim in deep water every week, and there's big sharks every week. So it's always dangerous AFL footy.
You mentioned Mateus last week, saying, I think you said the words injecting a little bit more.
Yeah, we're looking to play a bit more midfield.
Yeah.
We'll probably have to balance that up, but we really liked him forward. He was dangerous, kicked 2 goals. So yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. We're going to get through training. Be a pretty intense session. We want to improve our footy. We had 2 short weeks. This longer week, we can get a bit more work into them. So yeah, I'm interested to see how we perform on the track today.
Is that where you envision his best footy long term?
Mateus, yeah, for sure. We drafted him to be a big inside mid, as we did Travaglia, as we did Boxall, as we did Garcia, and really McRae and Jack Steeler, bringing those guys through. Hunter Clark got through last week, 2 weeks in a row now. So we're looking, he's a really good player for us, in particular experience, and Zach Jones, who was really unwell the previous week or so. So yeah, we're looking to sort of build. We're looking to build.
Dogs locked up Ed Richards yesterday. You're desperate to get Wangani Malera on board potentially this week or next week?
Yeah, it's not something I dwell on too much. You build the environment. It's all through the managers, right? Like, so what do you do? Yeah, but yeah, we had a coffee with Naz yesterday by chance, just at the pantry in Brighton, so we're all pretty happy. Yeah, he's a pretty special young player, but we've got a few special young players. So, but look, I don't get stuck on it, right? It's a weekly narrative, and opinion gets written as fact a lot now, which really has been a change in the media landscape, isn't it? So there's a lot of opinions that are written as fact. So look, a lot of noise around it. You just got to stay focused on the job at hand, preparing an AFL team.
Did you see the former Carlton president Mark Lejudice is getting Chris Judd to try and recruit or keep Tom De Koning back at Carlton? Do you know if Saints have any big names that they can convince him to then come over?
Yeah, look, can I just sort of elaborate a little bit? Like, this is what we do. We call this press conference to engage you and talk about the game. So we've covered injuries, we've covered the game, we've covered West Coast, but now we're starting to go down to extraneous issues that I'm not really here to talk about other clubs and players. Thanks, guys.